Joining us right now in the studio, he is an entrepreneur, politician, political analyst, political affairs commentator, human rights activist. Join me to welcome Samuel Higiato. Welcome to TMI Sunday's edition. Appreciate your coming. All right.
Good morning, viewers.
I believe you heard the opening remark of Mrs. Kennedy and, of course, Jimmy Oko. They've been talking about this particular issue, and Jimmy talked about ineptitude of the ruling party, that indirectly the one feeling like now the godfather of Fubara, I say ex-godfather of Fubara, in the person of Some Wike, so to speak. That's the reason why I still have the power or the might, so to speak, to like wanting to establish or maintain a structure in Rivers State. What do you have to say about this?
Listen, the problem we have in River State is a synonymous problem. It has become like a tradition and a culture in River State. If you look at all subsequent democratic dispensation in River State, whenever there's a new government coming in, a new person coming in, you always find that the new one always has to fight the old one to succeed or to claim achievements. I think the only place we saw remain difference is during the era of Wike, who fought Amechi, who was in the federal might, I believe he has the federal mind, but Wike had the people. So he was able to push Amechi aside and really stand his ground and develop River to impact on River people. So having done that, he has done very well. He has established River State as one of the most beautiful state right now in Nigeria, one of the most developing states right now in Nigeria, that you can count among 3, 4, from infrastructural development and otherwise. So now, Wike have believed that I have done everything to make River to move forward. And he now believe if I bring my own person from the cabinet, because since Barrow was his own cabinet, people say it's God's son. In politics, there's always a godson and godfather. Just that sometimes the godfathers overplay their roles. And sometimes the godson play rebels because of the court and betrayal at the end of the day, because they got the power. So Wike now thought Fubara should be able to push this development, to put all these infrastructure things he has put in place, push forward, to bring River State to the limelight. It's what he believed in. He brought him, he succeeded. In the hardest of a situation, you know what it takes as a PDP to say, I will win the governorship, I will win the House of Assembly, win the House of Rep, those things, but I will give the presidency to an opposition party. It is a very difficult task. Wike did it. It shows you that the structure, in whichever they call it, is with Wike. The people is with Wike. So now, it's for Fubara to manage the existing protocol to develop River State, not to fight.
Manage existing protocol.
Yes.
Manage the structure. What to say?
Yes. Yes, that development that is already going on. We are seeing the development. Even hand over a lot of projects to Sim Fubara, to even commission within 1 year in office. What that means? Then this same person, you allow people to advise you, you should fight him. You should fight him. No. You should learn how to manage him. Sometimes we have stubborn fathers. We have stubborn fathers. What do we do with those fathers? Do we fight them? No. As children, we learn to understand how they treat us and learn to avoid what will make them to treat us hard. That's how we manage our fathers that are stubborn. And Wike is one of those stubborn ones we all know. He will not take a shit.
Watch your language now.
I'm sorry for using the word language. Sorry.
Yes. Right.
He will not want to take.
You react.
Yes.
Hold on.
He's a very stubborn one.
No, you react.
He will want to take. And why Fubara, looking at him, at the earlier stage, he tried to play that role. He tried to manage this master. And it was going well. Even the House of Assembly were with him. The councils were with him. Most of the elders were with him. People were even now saying Wike is a bad person, trying to fight his own godson. Then suddenly, there was trying to be an harmonization, no matter from which angle it came from, whether it's from the presidency, because when you are a president, you are the president of the country, not the president of a party. Which the president came in, they all agreed on peaceful pact. Shortly after, I don't know what come about, Fubara became the emperor. From his statements, from his announcement, he was no more this so-called gentleman. He now want to tell them, I can fight. He said that the fight has just begun. The battle has just begun. So all those language, you forgot. You are now a governor. And you are not governing only the Ekwere people. You are not governing only the Ijos. You are governing the whole of Riverines. When you now call for a battle, that means you want to call a battle against the Ekwere people, which have been the dominant part of the government for years. It is Wike that saw it necessity that, no, these people has been disenfranchised as minority all this while in governance. Let's give them the chance. So you can't fight majority. This battle has just begun. I pray it does not end up messily, that there will still is an opportunity of diplomatic understanding from both sides, both Wike side, the fractions, and both Simbara's fraction. That's my own.
Come back to you, Samuel Higato. So you heard him. I wanted to interject the other time. So
last thing I want to even look at or assess these issues are what Wike, Fubara, the leaders are bringing to the table. I want to go deeper to look at it this way. The level of political consciousness of the average River State man needs some, it needs to be subjected to further enlightenment. More enlightenment. Yes, no, subjected to further enlightenment, because as we have established, these recurrent issues, they tell more about the people than even these actors who are fighting on a daily basis. I'll give you an example. I remember when Obaseki was seeking a second term. Issues already started brewing within the APC. And it was getting clearer that Obaseki may have to jump ship. In one of the statements he made while addressing the press in his office, he said, I cannot be governor and not be governor. Now,
I cannot be governor
and not be governor. I cannot
is that
be
situation Simi finds himself right now?
Yes, I cannot be governor and not be governor. I'm governor. Let me be governor in other ways. So he said that. And because of the level of consciousness of the average Edo man, from the south down to the north, they said, no, this particular man, right or wrong, who is looking to perpetrate himself as Godfather General, if I may put it that way, we are Edo people. We will not be subjected to these oppressive tendencies. They rallied around the governor. And those were the factors responsible for his coming back a second time. The people said, no, we can't take this. It's a slap on our face if we continue to allow this kind of thing to exist. The Edo people rose. And that is where that slogan came. Edo not be Lagos. The people can react. The people can come in. But unfortunately, the people in River State are maintaining a position that may not be akin to docility, but they think that the way things are happening, this is the way, this is who they are. They are flowing with the trend. And it is not helping them. If anybody is being mashed on the foot, it is the Rivers people, because all that would have come to them is not coming to them. But unfortunately, they are yet to understand this. You understand? Now, I spoke a little bit about the Edo situation a while ago. I'm still one of those who say today that it is not as if there was enough evidence on ground to have brought Obaseki back again the second term. But there was a revolt by the people against perceived forces of oppression.
All right.
Let's leave Edo right now. We will come back to Edo State for now. We are joining Rivers. All right, you're trying to draw in another journey for Sunday. You're not doing another politics. We'll come to that later in the second discussion. Calm down. Calm down. Just calm down, okay? Still on Rivers. The battle started with a godson and a godfather. All of a sudden, it went to Rivers State Assembly. And right now, the local government, the chairman, the councillors, they're coming out to protest. Now, if the organs of government is in disarray, how do you think SEMO will function? As it stands right now, we have very few, not up to 5 members, three of them sitting in the government house. No local government chairman, is locked right now. No HOAs, no committee, nothing. How is it going to operate?
All right. The truth.
It's appalling. It's surprising. How?
Well, I think, okay, let me quick first. I want to use a second to tell my brother that.
We are not doing it. Don't lie. Please don't focus on Rivers.
No, it's not about that.
Okay.
But I want to just quickly correct something. I want to praise him for the submission he made. That in 2020, the good people of Edo State decided to return Governor Godwin Obaseki. You know, even though there was a sentiment to protect what is right, the people could not have blindly returned a person with empty bags. That means the people returned him first because of his performance and two because of what was going on. Now for Rivers, now you can see that if we want to play modern politics, let us face it. And the requirement of modern politics is, if you believe in a person, give him the power to do something. And that was what Wike told the people of Rivers. I believed in Sim Fubara. Please, trust him. He's going to do well. Then when the people believed you, you were able to persuade the people. Everybody saw it. We all knew that Wike was able to control the people of Rivers. He had the influence across the length and breadth of Rivers while he was the governor. But the truth is, we cannot boast that that influence is going to remain if you continue to fight. Because similarity also happened in Edo. So the truth is that Wike should also be prepared to do the right thing, what the reality is asking for. And that is, allow this young man take the power and do what he wants to do. At the end of the day, the people will come out. It is not Wike that will determine whether Fubara has done well or not. Mm-hmm. It is not issue of performance we're after. Mm-hmm. Wike has not come to tell the people down that Fubara refused to continue social projects. He's refused to. No. Everything we are talking about structure, meaning control over resources, control over people.
But the question is still hanging. How is going to operate?
No, see, look at it.
No local government.
Yes.
The house is in disarray, except for some few persons. And it's busy fighting how.
That is why, even as we blame Wike in some parts, we are not coming to say Fubara is doing so well. A person in the position of Fubara, the truth is, needs wisdom to manage a person called Wike. Not just Wike, all the political godfathers. The truth is that if you continue to trade ways, if you continue to extend your muscles, we'll fight this, at the end of the day, then the governance will be scrambled in Rivers State. You will not be able to do anything. At the end of the day, you come and you finish your 4 years, the same people of Rivers State, even those behind you will tell you, Wike did better than you. He was able to construct these road flyovers and all. You could not do anything. But at the end of the day, you remember that it's the crisis that caused it. That is why a person like Fubara should go back and think and say, who is actually being affected by this? It's my administration. Wike has completed this. And it's already on record, all the projects that Wike executed. The people of Rivers will never forget that. Across the different senatorial zones in the state. So, Fubara is the one wearing the shoe right now. And posterity has open ears. Hearing. They are taking their pen, recording his achievements. So if he poorly manage the provocations that is coming from Wike and other political leaders in the state, then he should also know that his administration will fail. And when if it fails, the people of Rivers State will judge him at the end of time. So he needs wisdom. To what is wrong with Wike might be stubborn, but he's not God. How do you think about a whole governor, an executive governor of the state, coming into your house to say, sir, I know I'm governor, but you are my leader. In this matter, this is it. I want us to settle. Please, most of the times, loyalty is what these people just want.
Okay.
So if you can submit sometimes to say, please, this is all of that. There are some of these things the Bible will say, okay, in that case, let's just continue. He wants you to always mention his name. This is all of that. There are very insignificant matters that these people want.
Okay.
They want to feel that they are still relevant. So Fubara should be ready too. In as much as we blame and we are asking Wike to try to leave governance for Fubara to execute for his own tenure, Fubara should also know that he needs wisdom to send a message of extra humility, extra loyalty.
But some are saying,
like
all right, thank you so much. But some are saying that from his own perspective, loyalty, that is a little bit too late for that. I mean, being a little bit too late. You don't believe it?
No. It's never too late to be loyal. It's never too late to right a wrong right. It is already a part of us and our principles.
Okay.
Because there's even a Benin adage that said...
But don't forget what you said. Mr. President came out to say the issue.
Listen.
But he didn't succeed.
Listen. He succeeded. That's where we have the problem. Where I call on the leaders of the River State, the elders of the River State. Because some of them, instead of suing for diplomacy, instead of suing for a way for peace, that Fubara can be able to walk peacefully and walk well, they are even ensuing Fubara to fight. If you watch some of their interview, I watched some of their interview on Arise and on TVC, you see these elderly people who are supposed to be preaching for diplomacy, because that's what we know elders for. They are even telling Fubara to fight. That Wike should go and stay in Abuja. Is already in Abuja. No, Wike is a citizen of River State. And it's an elder statement already of River State. He's already a known leader of River State. So he cannot leave River State alone and go and stay in Abuja. No. Those statements are even provoking Wike to say, you are driving in from my own state. After what I have done, I will fight. Because you cannot tell a man that has done so well, that have made his people proud, that he should leave River State for River people, I should go and stay in Abuja and be doing his FCT. No, those are provocative. And this is coming from elder statesmen of the River. That's why when my brother said, the River people need more enlightened. They need to be enlightened. They need to think otherwise about this political scenario. Because Nigerian politics, we are trying to say modern politics. We are still growing. We've gotten there. Before the Americans got to where we are today, before the Germans got to where we are today, these same things happen in their democracy. It was step by step. It was through electronic means. It was too many investment into the electoral process, into the political system.
So right now you're putting the blame on the elders.
I blame the leaders too. Why? They could call these two people to order. They can call Wike. Come, Edo State Council is calling you. Sim, come, Edo State Council. Both will answer. They don't even need to go to Abuja to go and meet president. It can be solved within themselves. Once the elder speaks, and then one of them now break what was agreed on, the people we show the wrong person the right chair to sit. You know what I mean? Just like what happened in Edo State where he was talking about. The situation was that, how can one man come and tell Edo, this is where we're going? We know you have done well, you have done this and done that, but don't tell us where we are going. Which the Edo people were very well enlightened in their own mindset and said, no, you can't dictate for us. But like in this situation, they have gone past that situation in Edo State. We have already said, this is where we're going. The people have accepted where they're going. They have brought him. It is now for him to perform.
Okay. All right. Now,
And the only way he can perform, first and foremost, I want to ask you, Wilson, how can you tell me you have 30 or 32 House of Assembly representing different constituency that have the interest of, maybe like we are now in Igbo-Bazua. What is happening in Igbo-Bazua is different from what is happening in Upper. What is happening in Upper is different from what is happening in Edo Central. It's different from what is happening in Airport Road. These are different constituencies. They have different needs. They have different complaints. They have different impactation they are expecting from the government. And then you use 3 people to make a decision for the collective reverence. That collective decision will never go down well.
all right.
We've seen it in Edo State when it happens.
Okay.
Even during, let me just tell you, it's not only
all right,
the president. He saw it in Oshomole government.
Okay.
When they took the House of Assembly to a government house. We saw it in Obaseki government. When they destroyed it, used about 9 people. We saw all these things happening.
Yes.
It can never impact on the general public.
Okay.
It has never been good.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
It can never be good.
Now, he said it can never be good.
It can never be good.
It will not,
We should
okay.
learn what Simbara should do now.
Yes.
And the elders should do is a collective reconciliation.
I'll come back to you, Samuel. Now, let me come to you, Kennedy. You heard him. He said the elders should come into it. But it's like right now, the elders are taking sides.
Yeah.
The elders are already divided. Some for Wike, some for Fubara. And people are saying that this is gravitating towards calling for a state of emergency. Just paint the picture. A dynamite exploded while protest was on. Don't you think that this caused a sort of emergency?
As Barrister Olumide Osagbovo Akpata, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party, will always say,
all right,
I quote, the people have been removed from the equation of governance. End of quote. And these elders we are talking about, they are lackeys of government.
they are lackeys of government.
Oh yes, they are latching on to whatever they can quickly get from government.
Just after that. No.
The people is not in their consciousness.
At all.
The, people, the idea of the people is not in their consciousness. They are fanning the embers of war.
Yeah.
They are saying
Because they
things that
benefit
they
from
should
it.
have been saying. They are looking at ways of exploiting the situation for more gains, fitting lockers. That's what they are doing. Because once you are called an elder statesman, it comes with a responsibility. But how well are you pursuing this responsibility is what we are having. Now, Wike himself asked Amechi not to come to Rivers, you remember. And Amechi, because he was more peace-loving, stayed away from Rivers so that he would not have issues. Now, this one now is not actually as strong as Wike. He wants Wike not to also come back. People are telling him for Wike not to come back.
Drive Wike, drive Wike.
That will not work. But the elders, now, the question is this not leading us to a state of emergency? That's our fear. Because now, even if Fubara says, well, my commissioners are leaving, these ones are leaving, these ones are leaving, let me quickly appoint people into these positions. Do you know that these people too have their fears as to what may happen to them when they take up such positions? Their political futures are never. Because, like my brother Jimmy said, they look to be weighing where the power will tilt.
Yeah, where it's going to fall to.
Where it fall to before they make up their minds on what to do. And that may not be clear in the nearest future. So they are going to be dancing around, and Rivers State is going to be suffering, and don't be surprised that a state of emergency may just be called. And when that happens, well, I don't know. But I hope that whatever comes out of it, the Rivers people will learn. Because if by any means the entire Rivers people are together in seeking good governance, as the entire Edo people were together in 2020, so this is the way we want to go. In the entire Rivers, they are so bifurcated, so divided along ethnic affinities. Yes. Along ethnic affinities, this consciousness of, oh, it is my turn now. It is when it's now my turn, you want to do this to me. We will tell you that we are a people you cannot mess with. Yeah. It's playing out. And I'm really sorry for Rivers people. I did my youth service in Rivers State a long time ago. And I always saw that the people found it very difficult to rally around themselves and pursue common objectives. They are more interested in what they can get as individuals. Now, if we have a group of elders who are fanning the embers of war under a political dispensation like this, then you could begin to think what the future of Rivers State will be going forward.
Thank you so much. And that's your last comment on this discussion. Well, state of emergency, you see it happening. Briefly, before we go to the next discussion.
Well, I also, I hope it doesn't. I hope the cause are well managed. But do not also forget that by the time something like that happens, the name of Wike is going to be the receiving end, because many people are going to believe that being at the federal level is he will be behind an action like that. So it's going to further worsen the situation in the state. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope Fubara, to prevent it, to prevent state of emergency in Rivers, I think the responsibility, 80%, lies in the hands of Fubara. He may not be the person who is to be blamed for all the things, but I think having the executive powers in his hands, he decides what to do and what not to do, power to use and power not to use. So I think it lies in him to manage what is happening with utmost wisdom to prevent something like that. There is a way he can actually go about this, call back all the stakeholders within the state, talk to Wike too, and they will all listen to him. He is the governor of the state. So
he should be a governor without being a governor, like what you said?
No.
No. Well, that's not because of the matter. So, comment briefly now. How do you finish get out of this? Because don't forget, made a comment. I cannot be a governor without being a governor. That was the carrot they gave to him, and the man revolted.
That's not true.
Briefly,
that's not true. What do you mean with being a governor, not being a governor? When the person that have just ruled the state, have just led the state to progress, left you with a lot of buoyant projects to create your own names. Do you understand? And then most of the projects, you started canceling this, canceling that, and these are projects you were the commissioner of, I think, finance or whatever. When these projects, these contracts were awarded, you were part and parcel of those things. That is why the man believes you knows everything, you can take the state to the next level. So political reasons is not a reason not to govern properly. But political problems and political issues can make a state not to be governed properly, that it will be lack of development, lack of impartation on the people. Because the time you spend quarreling and fighting your party, things are not going well. We saw it in Edo State too. When Obaseki got to PDP, after leaving the APC, he fought for like 2 years before we started seeing some development, because the party we had scattered this different. You understand? It was even the last 3 years we started this internal crisis with party leaders can be managed, as my brother said. The only way Fubara can succeed and his name should reach to be written on the golden book of Rivers State is first and foremost to seek a reconciliation as soon as possible with all stakeholders, both the House of Assembly member, both the council, even though they are gone. Settle them off. It is done. Don't say, I want to seize your money, I want to do this is your gratuity. No, all this threat. You are making the situation to be more aggravated. Let him settle with everybody. And the Rivers elders, they should stop coming to Arise, coming to national television.
Not ITV,
no, coming to this national television and be pumping war. To be pumping war. To be suing for war. No. It should stop. It is not helping the matters. Because the man you are suing for war for, he's a warrior. You might be the executive governor. He was the executive governor before. He knows the state more than you. He has the majority of his folks behind him. And you are just from a minority folks. Don't underrate that aspect. Because those people now on social media carrying guns, branding guns that they are from those sides, they are going to stand with Fubara, they are going to... Fubara is supposed to have cautioned them. It's not time for war. It's time for the development of Riverines.
All right.
It's time for the further development of Riverine. It's time to take River to be like London, as Wicked dream.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Paul, like asking right now, you gave it to a minority, and there is trouble. Do you think the majority will want to vote again for other minorities in subsequent election in the future? That's a question Paul, like, asking right now. Yes, in some wicked it is big, did his part and gave it to a minority, despite agitation, rejection of so many persons saying, no, they are too small. He said, no, give it to these minorities, their turn. And now there seems to be squabble. In future elections, do you think that government will be so magnanimous to push the power down to that place? Food for thought. If you're a godfather, please be a good godfather. If you're a godson, be a good godson. Because the way it's going right now in Rivers State, I don't know. No local government council is operating right now. For the House, either 3 to 5 members, some are saying it's 5 out of 32. Some commissioners, they've resigned. People like asking, how is this government going to survive? Talking about Rivers State. I don't know, sometimes we have to have a rethink for peace to reign. When elephant fights, definitely the grass do suffer. Right now, but Rivers State, they are suffering. Because if you focus on fighting war, what happened to development? What happened to all of it? What happened to good governance? When you spend all years fighting, peace should be the watchword.